Hello students, today we have come to the last part of the life process, respiration. Now today we will discuss human respiratory system. Now human respiratory system, here is a diagram of human respiratory system. You can see that it starts with the nostrils, the pore of the noses called nostrils, where the air enters and it goes to the nasal chamber or nasal passage. Now nasal passage, we know it is contains of hairs, mucus to trap the germs, dust, and finally the filtered air now moves into the structure called pharynx. Pharynx is also have an opening with the mouth, that connection with the mouth. Now air from the pharynx moves into the larynx, and this opening from pharynx into the larynx is called glottis. Now pharynx is a common passage for both food pipe and windpipe, for food and air, and so when it opens it has a two opening, one is going for the food pipe and other for the windpipe. So this opening of this pharynx with the larynx is called glottis, and that is covered by a flap, which remains covered by a flap when we eat food, and that flap is called epiglottis. Now larynx is called the voice box. Why it is called the voice box? Because this larynx contains some cartilages, and these cartilages, when the air comes in and strikes these cartilages, it vibrates and causes sound. Now, so it is called voice box. From larynx, the air enters into the windpipe or trachea. You can see the tube. This is called trachea or windpipe, and this tube is encircled by a cartilage, and these are the C-shaped cartilage. Why this cartilage is there? This cartilage ensures that this windpipe will not collapse and will provide an easy passage for the air. So cartilage is there to prevent collapsing of the trachea or windpipe. And next, this windpipe or trachea divides into two branches. These are called, plural is bronchi, singular they are called bronchus. This bronchus is also covered by C-shaped cartilage, provided with C-shaped cartilage. This bronchus now divides into several small branches called bronchioles and enters in the lungs. These bronchioles finally ends up with a balloon-like delicate structure called air sac or alveoli. Now, and the whole lungs, now this lungs is covered by a covering called pleura. The right lung is comparatively larger with 3 lobes, and left lung is comparatively smaller than right lung with 2 lobes. There are 2 pleura membrane, and in between these 2 pleural membrane there is interpleural space filled with fluid. And the whole lungs is protected by the ribs. These are the ribs which are protecting the lungs in the thoracic cage. And this is the region, this is called diaphragm, clear, which helps in the inhalation and exhalation. And this region between the lungs is the region for the heart. And since heart is slightly tilted towards left, so left lung is comparatively smaller than the right lung. Next, this is the alveoli. We already have told that alveoli is very thin and delicate, because it is the region where from the exchange of gases takes place. So alveoli is very thin and delicate, made up of the thinnest epithelium called squamous epithelium. And this alveoli is encircled by tuft of capillaries. You can see this artery entering, forming capillaries along the alveoli, and finally it is living as venules. So arteriole, then capillary, network of capillary, then venules. And this is the region, that is the alveoli. From alveoli, oxygen enters into the blood capillary, and from capillary, carbon dioxide moves into the blood. So it is the site for the exchange of gases, and this increased surface area, you can see there is increased surface area, they are thin and delicate, they are provided with blood vessels, so they are facilitating the exchange in all sphere. Next, the mechanism of breathing. We have already learned that for a proper respiratory organ, we should, since it is present inside the body, we should have a proper mechanism so that air can enter and leave. This entering of air is called inspiration. When it is leaving, it is called expiration. What happens during inspiration? During inspiration, the external intercostal muscle, that means the muscle present in between the ribs, contracts, the diaphragm contracts, and as a result, the thoracic cage, the volume of this thoracic cage increases. As the volume of the thoracic cage increases, what happens? The air pressure falls. And as the air pressure falls, the air from outside rushes inside the lungs. During this expiration or in exhalation, just the reverse occurs. During exhalation, this intercostal muscle between the ribs, they relaxes. The diaphragm, which is present below the lungs, relaxes. As a result, what happens? The volume of the thoracic cage decreases, lung squeezes, the air pressure increases, and as a result, due to high pressure, the air moves out. And now, so this is how we breathe. And now, when air has entered in our lungs, the exchange of gases has occurred, oxygen has entered in the blood capillary, somehow is set to reach the cells because the oxidation of food will occur in the cells. How it reaches the cells? There is a special pigment in the blood called hemoglobin, which combines with oxygen forming oxyhemoglobin and carries oxygen to different cells. And there is another, it also combines with carbon dioxide and forms carbaminohemoglobin, and thus it carries carbon dioxide from cells to lungs or the blood vessels encircling the alveoli. The carbon dioxide is also carried by plasma of the blood. Okay, thank you.